I have new feelings about HeroQuest after last night and some of the experiences with the Barbarian Quest pack. I thought it was interesting that people had said, hey, this sounds like, or this felt like very first edition. And I had never thought of that. First edition D&D. And I had never thought of that. Of course, I think of it as a lightweight game. And I think that some of the quests early on are pretty easy, especially if you are playing optimally. And I've been going through the original quest pack. It's been a while since we've been able to play, but of course I played through the original quest pack probably a couple of times. We played a lot of HeroQuest or more over the decades, but I've been going through it with my nephews again, Zargoning them through that. And now they played far from optimally. They were far from optimal HeroQuest players, which does make the game much more difficult. But if you're playing optimally, then I think you can get through those quests, as I remember, pretty easily. But with these new releases, I had always heard that the Frozen Horror was extremely tough to the point that, oh my God, did they even playtest this? And I was on the edge, like with every quest in the Frozen Horror one that we had done. And it took me out last night. It took me out. And it seems like it was definitely geared to making sure that you have a lot of gear. That if you are brand new heroes, and that's why I think, oh, we died. I don't know if you can even reset brand new heroes, because I think they would just get slaughtered moving into another quest. So those quests are set up that, oh, you're supposed to have treasure from all of those easier quests and really have your characters outfitted. But also, it does seem to play that if you go in the wrong direction, it's not going to be easy for you. If you go in the wrong direction, and it's not easy to know what the right direction is. If you move in the wrong direction, you're going to face a lot of opposition. And if you go in certain directions, it may just close you off. Like the way that I was going last night, I started running from a whole swarm of monsters, and I just ran in the wrong direction. So I actually was running into a dead end. Like that was not going to be easy. So there was definitely, yeah, that's a new kind of thought and experience with HeroQuest, because I think of HeroQuest as lightweight, because I think of it as an ideal kind of family fantasy game because the rules aren't that difficult. That means that there are a lot more players for it, in my experience, because there are people who will play HeroQuest who will not play Gloomhaven, for instance. So that's nice. That always gets you lots of players, but yet there's enough to the game that it generally satisfies harder core gamers and the ones who do want to play something like Gloomhaven. But if you've got a bunch of people sitting around and playing HeroQuest, that's fun. But then again, turns out there is a hardcore element to HeroQuest as well, with something like the Frozen Horror. I'm interested to know how the Dreadmoon release is going to go, because the Mage of the Mirror, which is the Elf Quest pack, and the Frozen Horror, which is the Barbarian Quest pack, those were released decades ago, and these are re-releases of what they were then. I was hoping, as with most of the things in HeroQuest, that they would go by and clean up things from both of those, from all the original releases, and the difficulty and perhaps insanity of those two quest packs might have been something to change. But I was wondering, can I get through it? And I just don't know. But so it was a different kind of HeroQuest when you are actually playing something that is very brutal, and punishes you if you make wrong decisions. How many expansions for HeroQuest are there? Right now, there are 4. There are the Frozen Horror, the Mage of the Mirror, Kalar's Keep, and Return of the Witch Lord. And now the reason I didn't start with Kalar's Keep and Return of the Witch Lord is because I had them from back in their original release, and I played them a lot. I don't remember them. I could go back and play them, but I did play them a lot. I never played the Frozen Horror. So I wanted to start with something I'd never done. I remember we played through Kalar's Keep and Return of the Witch Lord years and years ago. I don't remember it being anywhere near something like what went through with the Frozen Horror. So that one was those are much more gameable and playable. I bet I could defeat those. Well, let's talk about, so those were my thoughts. So that was a side of HeroQuest that I hadn't really experienced last night. So it's tough. It was brutal.